Hi guys, welcome to the Marquee Matchups for the weekend of the 18th of November guys. Some very tasty Marquee Matchups lie ahead. Smash the likes, sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter at GSLegend, all the links are down below guys. And also comment down below what your shouts are for the Marquee Matchups for this weekend. Because I want to add this to the leaderboard, which I forgot to mention in last week's one. But it'd be ideal to start a leaderboard going. It just makes it a bit more fun and more interesting for you guys to see what your shouts are. So I'm going to do the 4 likely ones that in my opinion, and then focus on some other shouts to consider. So first one guys is the Madrid Derby guys. This is quite potentially the big one of the weekend. Atletico and Real Madrid both aren't playing as good as they should be. Atletico Madrid have lost to Real Sociedad before the international break, and in my personal opinion the route that they're going to take with this could be focusing on 2 players from each team guys, with an emphasis obviously on the league being like 11 players. They'll make it 5 Spanish players minimum, because there is a lot of Spanish players on both sides and it's very easy to do. And overall rating will be around about between 79 to 81 guys. I don't think they're going to make it too high but not too hard at the same time, and obviously 100 chem. So in terms of formations guys, just ignore it. I've put in a 4-4-2 just to keep it simple and consistent for marquee matchups. So let me know guys what you think of this setup. Obviously I've got a lot of the Atletico and Real Madrid players in the squad as it speaks, but time the video goes, if this was to be done, obviously I would only have 2 of each just to kind of sell the rest. Second option guys is the Milan Derby guys. AC versus Inter, that for me looks a shoe-in as well guys. It's hard to say specifically where they might take this, because they might just focus on the one league as a whole, but my personal opinion is it'll be 2 from each team, 2 leagues maximum. I think they'll make it Calcio A and Calcio B, or Serie A, Serie B. Nations will be an emphasis guys. That will kind of quite easily happen because there is a lot of like Argentinian, Chilean, and also in this instance there's Czech and Japanese. So you might find 6 nations could be a requirement. Chem will obviously stay to 100. Overall rating 79 is very easy, but it's also very difficult to achieve because there's not enough high rated options to consider. So keep that in mind guys for this marquee matchup. And my reward would be 1,000 coins and a rare gold pack that will actually make it a really tasty pack worthwhile. Third option guys is the Gala Toss Fenerbahce game guys. This for me could be one very tasty shout to consider. They'll make at least 1 player from each team. They might make it even 2, but it's hard to potentially say where they might take it in terms of the squad builder challenge. Leagues will be a maximum of 3 guys. I have that inkling that they'll try and make a maximum league, or they might just make it 11 Super League players just to kind of bump up the interest in the league. 4 nations maximum guys. This would probably mean that it could be an emphasis on having a lot of the Turkish players, and then there's options like your Brazilians, and it varies on there where you could take it. Obviously this team does have more than 4 nations when you do look at it, so keep that in mind guys, that my team does have more than 4 nations before you consider building this squad. And obviously an overall rating guys, roughly of say 77 to about 79 could be a requirement. There's not too many high rated options to kind of push that rating too high, and they want to keep it quite cheap but not too expensive at the same time. Reward will be 1,000 coins and a premium gold pack, the 7.5 ones. Right, last shout guys is the F3 Derby as it is known in Australia. This is between the Newcastle Jets and the Central Coast Mariners guys. This could be a real interesting option to have. This could go so many different ways in terms of how they build it. I've gone for 2 minimum players from the Jets and the Mariners, 4 leagues maximum, which I do not genuinely now start to see coming, but I personally think they'll make it 1 league being the A League, a nations requirement maximum of say 7, team chemistry of 100. Your overall rating will be anywhere between 65 to as high as say 69 or 78, because there is a lot of cheap goals you can just throw in to really bump this rating up, especially. And it also is worth considering guys that the team may also have other requirements thrown in terms of the Australian and New Zealand based players, they might have a requirement on that. So keep that in mind, guys, for this squad builder challenge. They might try and do other things just to make it a little bit more interesting and to make it a bit tighter for everyone. Now on to the other 4 games, guys, that are just as likely to happen, and one of them is the Rhineland Derby, guys. This could be the option they may choose from Germany, solely because this is deemed a proper derby. Borussia Mönchengladbach and FC Cologne are based in the Rhineland, and while Dortmund and Bayern are deemed a derby, and I will talk in that in a minute, for me this could be the route. If they go Bundesliga, this could be the route that they go for. My prediction will be 2 of each player, 2 from each club, sorry, so like 2 Mönchengladbach and 2 Cologne. 3 leagues maximum. I can see them trying to clamp it down so that it's like Bundesliga, Bundesliga 2, and say like BPL for example, because that would be kind of a route they could take it. You've got to have a nations maximum of say between 3 to 5 nations, guys. That's what I'm roughly going to say. It would be easy enough because there's lots of Germans, lots of Danish, and lots of Serbians to consider. And from there as well, guys, you can easily throw in 100 chem and a decent overall rating. Anywhere between 77 to 80 would be my kind of shout. Wouldn't be too difficult on all honesty, especially if you have like Herman and Fabian Johnson in, and then say Hector and someone like Heinz, or depending on who else you're trying, or Jansch, depending on who you throw in really, of all honesty, for other players. So you wouldn't find it too difficult. It would be cheap enough, and it would actually be a very fun squad builder challenge to build. The next, as I said, after the Rhineland Derby, guys, we have is Dortmund versus Bayern, guys. This could happen. While it is not deemed a derby as since it has got its potentials, guys, it would be a very tasty Bundesliga squad builder challenge, and it is kind of like the biggest game in Germany these days now. It's kind of like Real Madrid and Barcelona in a sense, like with El Clasico. It has that feel about it. My personal opinion, guys, if they do this, they will try and make it as hard as possible on folk. It will be 2 players minimum from each club, with an emphasis on the Bundesliga, guys, especially. So you're expecting maybe 11 players from the Bundesliga. 4 nations minimum, guys. They will make this, I think, quite a stringent rule. It would be easy enough to do because you've got Kingsley Coman, Julian Green. You could do that right away. That's 2 nations covered. And then depending on who you take from Dortmund, you could go Marino and say like Guerrero, so that would cover you right away. Other options like Bernat and Martinez, so you'd be well covered for your nations. Obviously team chemistry as usual has to be 100. Overall rating, I'm going to say minimum of 79, guys, because I can expect people like, even like me, I would go into the equation where I would put a bronze and a silver like Dorsch and Green, so you'd be well covered in terms of where you could take the team, guys. The rewards, they will make this worthwhile in being a 1500 coins and a prime gold players pack, the 45k ones that are ever so popular in squad builder challenges. Just like the Dortmund Bayern game, guys, Man United Arsenal, another massive game. This in the BPL. For me, this I can't see happening just because of the big options that are this week, and also Arsenal were just in the one 2 weeks ago against Spurs. So I highly doubt this game, guys, because it would seem stupid to put Arsenal in again. And Man United have also already been in for Liverpool, and that was, so it's hard to say why they would justify putting Man United in, Arsenal in. But solely, guys, for squad builder challenge and video purposes, I have to show you this, guys. So take that into account. So if you've got some of these players already, don't go out and buy tons of Man United players or tons of Arsenal players, because they are very expensive just now. But if they did do it as a requirement, guys, I'm saying 2 players minimum, 11 Premier League players exactly, 4 nations at least, which is easy enough to do, 100 team chem. Overall rating, guys, at least 79. They might push it up to an 80, I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, 11 players in the squad. They might even make it partial squad, but I highly doubt it. Rewards would be a rare gold pack and 1500 coins, guys. So as I say, don't go all out to buy these players. I've got most of these guys packed already, so that's why I'm showing you this. So it makes it easier for me to show you, and I wouldn't go out and buy. Another route, guys, to consider for the silver bronze route is the Rotterdam derby between Sparta Rotterdam and SBV Excelsior. For this kind of route, guys, you're looking at roughly 2 players from each club They might even just make it one minimum. Maximum of 6 nations, guys. This would kind of seem realistic, and it also makes sure that you're not kind of focusing heavy on the Dutch players. Overall rating minimum of 70, guys. Easy enough to achieve because you can easily put 2 bronzes in and 2 silvers to kind of cover it. Obviously, exactly 11 players in the squad, guys, and the reward will be 1k coins and a gold pack. Just to say as well, guys, this is the lesser of the Rotterdam derbies, but it's still a very sneaky option that they could throw in. Nevertheless, likely options, guys, is the Empoli for Fiorentina derby, guys. This is one of the bigger derbies in a sense in Serie A, but it's also one of the lesser ones for those that don't follow their football in Italy. In terms of routes, guys, this should be 1 or 2 players from Empoli and Fiorentina. Then from there, guys, you're roughly looking at either an all gold focus or looking at potentially a maximum of nations, which would be quite a realistic option. Like you might have 2 leagues max to a minimum of 6 nations. The reason why I've said a minimum of 6 nations is because you could easily build all Italian, but you could also find that there's plenty of Argentinians, Spaniards, Colombians and Greeks in the league to kind of build, and it makes it quite tasty then, so it would make the league a bit easier to balance with. Overall rating probably around 77, 78 rated, I would imagine would be a likely overall route. I'm saying exactly gold as well, guys, as a possibility, but then just to consider as well, if that happens, you can throw Saponara, someone like Saponara or Skorupski in this team, and it gives you the chemistry and obviously the requirement done as well. So you wouldn't have to worry too much on that basis, guys. Nice and easy, and reward would be a 7.5k pack and 1000 coins, so not too bad for your spend. Another option to consider, guys, is the Lyon versus Lille derby, guys. This route, for me personally, I don't think will happen. I still feel like there is too many strong options, but of course, guys, for video purposes we have to cover it. My personal opinion is they're going to do 1 or 2 players from Lille and Lyon respectively. In terms of overall, guys, you're roughly looking at 78, 79 overall, mainly focusing on quite a few nations as well. They might make a requirement based around that, which would seem very logical. It would be quite smart by them as well. Rating exactly gold would be the best route as well, guys. In terms of formations, you never know. I always do these in a 4-4-2, guys, just to make it easy, and it also covers like left mids, right mids, etc. And what I would say, guys, if they make it like 1 or 2 leagues, if it say Ligue 1 and Ligue 2, then what you might find especially is, guys, the requirements might just go a little bit further down and it might prove beneficial. Rewards, guys, will be a 1 premium gold pack, a 7.5k ones and 1500 coins, guys. And the last option, guys, is Altac versus Graz, guys. If you don't follow Austrian football at all, guys, this at the moment are the 2 top teams in Austria. They are better than Rapid Vienna, Austria Vienna and Red Bull Salzburg. Both teams at the moment at this stage of the season, this is a big 6-point game, and whoever wins might just start to really develop a cushion on everyone else. But however, I highly doubt this game would happen, solely because there is too many other bigger games, and this game at the moment is not really a big game. While it is 2 top sides fighting it out at the moment, it's a long way before the title is even decided, but it still has to be considered for a squad builder challenge. If they were to do it, guys, it would be 1 player minimum from each team. They're not really going to be making too big an emphasis. They might make it anywhere between the league itself being the Austrian league, but they might also make it 3 leagues maximum at the most, where Austrian players you might find they might throw, like you'd have, there's plenty of players in BPL and in the Bundesliga and Bundesliga 2 who are like Austrian, Spanish, German, that you could build this team around. 3 nations maximum, guys, that would be real easy. I've got Austria, Macedonia and Spain at the moment, and I can see that kind of happening. It might even make it all Austrian, which would make it even more interesting. 100 chem exactly, it's not too difficult. Minimum rating of 67, that would be quite interesting because I can see it being quite difficult. But you'd have there's options from Red Bull Salzburg that would bump this up really easily, and you'd not have an issue, guys. So that is the squad builder challenges for this week, guys. Really quite meaty in terms of where they might take this for the squad builder challenges. Let me know in the comments down below, guys, what your shouts are for squad builder challenge and the marquee matchups for this weekend. If I've missed anything, smash the likes, guys, as usual, guys. We much appreciate it. Sub to the channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter at GZLegend. Take it easy, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.